Here in Thailand would have an opportunity to see, and certainly not a place where tourists would venture to visit. This is the UNHCR Refugee camp, and it's one of 9 such camps along Thailand's border with Myanmar. Now, in this camp alone, there are around 10,000 people, and most of them have fled here due to persecution or conflict in their own country.
Imagine living each day in fear, or imagine losing all that's familiar to you and having to run for your life to another country. For the tens of thousands of people living on Thailand's border with Myanmar, all that has been a harsh reality. 35-year-old Ethor fled Myanmar when her husband was forcibly recruited and killed by soldiers. She now has 3 young children under the age of 7 to raise alone. For most refugees, their fate is in the hands of the rest of the world.
UNHCR has a presence on the Thai-Myanmar border. This presence has resulted from the conflict in Myanmar, which has led to the displacement of about 109,000 persons fleeing fighting. They're in 9 camps where UNHCR has a presence in all 9 camps, and UNHCR's role is to provide protection, security, and look for a durable solution so these people can have a future. Our involvement also is in the resettlement of refugees, and more than 66,000 refugees from Myanmar have been resettled, predominantly in the U.S. The groups of refugees in all 9 camps tend to be ethnic minorities from Myanmar, mostly Karen and Karenni refugees.
The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, was established on December 14, 1950 by the United Nations General Assembly. Its role was to help Europeans displaced by World War II. Back then, it had a 3-year mandate to complete its work and then disband. And yet, almost 60 years later, its work still continues. Today, the agency deals with 34.4 million people of concern to UNHCR. This includes 14.4 million internally displaced people, 10.5 million refugees, 2 million returnees, 6.6 million stateless people, and more than 800,000 asylum seekers. 47-year-old Kiao Tet stepped on a landmine and lost his leg while being forced to work as a porter in Myanmar. Fellow villagers helped him to safety in Thailand.
UNHCR established its presence in Thailand in 1975 at the invitation of the Royal Thai government in order to assist with Indo-Chinese refugees who fled from Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Through the years, from 75 to present, about 1.2 million refugees have found a safe haven and asylum in Thailand. UNHCR has worked with the Royal Thai government in finding solutions for refugees. And I know myself because I arrived in 1989 working with Vietnamese refugees in a program with the Royal Thai government, the Ministry of Interior in particular, to screening Vietnamese refugees, and also working in 1991 with the government and returning 360,000 Cambodian refugees who were able to return home, restart their lives, and hope have a brighter future.
UNHCR offers refugees protection. Many of those the agency protects are children.
Masa pusana, bakal mimi tahu kepala ni masa wadil koadiko bila ditanya koadiko, ditanya koadiko dek ke Barcelona wadil tahu ko, mimi letak letak curi kepala ni petel letak baku baku lagi mo, letak cuci letak hegi heba wadil bakal letak baku tina rido telemo, dah ditanya wadil bakal pemiu letak kota kita mi demi ini ni pa le agan ni kemasa tu, dan terbalu tasir ke, dan thobone.
UNHCR also offers refugees a livelihood, including NGO partner programs that teach a skill or trade.
Malora ulo yutura de yaplaramo de yapchaturamo ulo ni wabe malata tuta plalomo de ulo be malane be madam nyami wa ko pure bu pu olone
nya tamalo khai ta khuru ma on ti ta yekan to sa go je ke lưa ta mo gon khai ta ta mo lu wi ni mo ye ka to sa
Kyor's sons and nephew are receiving an education in the Umpium camp, and they too have dreams for the future.
My name is Pluto.
And what's your dream? What do you want to do when you finish school?
I want to be a teacher.
You want to be a teacher?
Yes.
What's your name?
Golpa.
And what do you want to do when you finish school?
I want to be a leader of Korea.
A leader of Korean. Wow, you're ambitious, yeah? How old are you?
I am 17 years old.
17.
Yeah.
And what is your name?
Gopowa.
Gopawan. And what do you want to do when you finish school?
I want to be a doctor.
A doctor, yeah?
Yes.
Well, of the 9 camps along the border, this is by far the biggest one. It's Mae Sot camp, and it's home to around 30,000 people. Now, today is a very special day for 6 of those people. They've packed their bags and then are on their way to a new life in America.
Through its resettlement program, UNHCR helps scores of refugees restart their lives in another country. 81-year-old Do Nyo Ta, her daughter and 3 grandchildren are being resettled in Omaha in the United States. Do Nyo Ta has been at this camp for almost 20 years, and this is the only home her grandchildren have ever known. "83-year-old Mae A. Hla is going to join her 4 children in New York." The camp provides orientation programs so that refugees can get a small taste of what to expect in America. Then it's off to a new country and a new life without fear or repression. Since 2005, over 60,000 Myanmar refugees have departed to third countries of resettlement. 19-year-old Helku came to the camp as an orphan when he was only 11. Now he too begins a new life in America.
Segi ba ke ramo ni do ba nyo ba ke da chura sai ma ksem.
UNHCR ensures the protection, livelihood and resettlement of many people, including those displaced through natural disaster.
What is it exactly that you do here on the border with Thailand and Myanmar?
UNHCR takes care of the refugees. In Thailand, we have over 100,000 refugees in 9 camps. So we give them protection and livelihood trainings, and finally help them to resettle in other countries. Since 2005, we resettle about 60,000 refugees, and mainly to the US.
Now, obviously, you have to rely a lot on donations, as there's never enough money around. I mean, what is it that you try to tell people? What is the message that you put out to people to encourage them to donate and assist what UNHCR is doing?
The situation for refugees in Thailand is one of the protracted situation in the world. They have been here for over 20 years, so the funds will never be enough. So I think we need the donations, we need the support from Thai people as much as possible.
We all hear tales of suffering and loss, but the pleas are often faceless. Now, thanks to UNHCR, refugees can be heard and offered a chance to tell their stories of courage and perseverance. If you want to help, you can look for UNHCR donor staff in major streets and public areas, or contact the donor hotline.